So today I just wanted to talk about birds a little bit. I've got my cockatiel here and my parrotlet. And as you can see right now, their cage is pretty bare. I just have one toy in it. That's because I just removed the rest of the toys that were in it. And what I wanted to talk about is toys that are in the cage for birds. Birds, especially if you keep them in the cage quite often, it's very important to have a variety of toys that they can play with. Even if you let your bird out for a couple hours a day, they're still in their cage for a lot of the portion of the day. So you're going to want to have toys in there, and it's important not just to throw toys in there once and then leave their cage the same for like their whole life, let's say. Birds can live a long time, and if you just leave their cage the same forever, it's going to get really boring in there for them. You want to make sure, as you can see I got a big cage and you can see Stewie flying around. Stewie's the little parrotlet. You want to make sure the birds can open their wings, flap, and kind of fly across the cage when they're in there, so you don't want to clutter it up with toys. But you want to have toys in there, and I'd recommend maybe 2, 3, 4 toys. I usually put about 4 in here because it's a pretty big cage. And I usually leave the center area so he can fly back and forth pretty empty, but I'll put toys in like every corner. And what you should do is when you first get a bird, if you just are getting one, put some toys in there, 3 toys. And then about a month later, go buy 3 more toys. And maybe a month later, go buy 3 more toys. Now you're set pretty much for the life of the bird. Basically what you're going to want to do is once a month, or maybe even once a week, however often you want to do it, change out the toys that are in their cage. Or at least move them around, change out 1 or 2 of them and move them to different spots of the cage. Change their environment a little bit so they get a little bit of enjoyment. They can search their cage again, play with the new toys. So I've got just 3 new toys here. Little rope thing for them to climb up and down on. A new perch that just has some like biting at stuff on it, and then this big blocky thingy that they just climb on and bite on. So I'm just going to be putting these in quick, and just wanted to tell you guys about that. And if you have a bird, just make sure you change the toys every once in a while. It can get pretty boring if you're just in the same cage and the exact same setup non-stop. So it's good to change their toys and give them some new stuff to play with. So here's the cage set up now. As you can see, I put the other toys in, but I still left this center section wide open so they can fly back and forth. A little thing about toys too, I'd recommend staying away from mirrors for sure. Although birds are smart, when they see a mirror in their cage and they see a reflection of themselves, quite often, especially if you have one bird and you want it to bond with you, having one bird is usually the best, to have a nice bird, because then they'll bond with you. But if you have 2 birds, or if you have a mirror in the cage, they often will bond with the other bird, or they'll bond with the mirror image of themselves. And sometimes they can get a little bit feisty when you try to take them away from that mirror, or you try to take them out, because they kind of think that's another bird in the mirror. So although mirror toys will keep them entertained for a while, I don't think they're very good to put in the cage. It's kind of tricking the bird, and the bird thinks there's another bird there, and it's just, in my experience, I've had probably about 7 to 10 birds in my life, and mirrors were always a problem if we used them. So I'd stay away from mirrors. Bells can be really good. Stewie loves bells. But the problem that we had with bells was Stewie loved them so much, all day he was ringing that bell, and it got pretty annoying. So bells are good toys if you don't mind them ringing and your bird likes them, but I would definitely stay away from mirrors. It just, in my experience, they haven't done anything good. So that's about it for today. Keep your birds happy, put in new toys, and we'll see you guys next time.